come on in, everybody. Welcome back. We are back with All Things Odd. We've been gone for a little bit. Before we get started, I'm going to have Dr. Galloway go over the YouTube channel here.
Yes, so if you look here, here's our YouTube channel. We have 72 subscribers, so that's a pretty big deal. And we have more videos than ever. I think it says 95 or 98, I can't see. But there's fun thumbnail images, and so you can kind of tell what each show is about, and you can look through different topics. We've had patients recently ask us about like, oh, what about this eustachian tube dysfunction or something? I'm like, oh, you can go to our YouTube channel and we have a whole video about us just talking about that. So there's all kinds of different topics, but we do miss weeks from here to there when we're traveling. And so you can always come here and kind of check out some of our older episodes.
Yeah. All right. So with that, we do have to apologize because we have been, I don't even think we did a show in March. We were traveling a lot. I think we had business meetings. We had the Audiology conference that was last week. And then, of course, for me, it was March Madness and basketball. So I was gone in March to be able to support our Colorado State team. But we are back. Whitney's going to be joining us, we think, in a little bit, if we can get her computer to work. But we had thought our topic today would be fun to talk a little bit about technology, because when I was at AAA, our audiology conference, I saw some really cool technology and some new things, but we also noticed some other things that are really kind of cool that we still use. And so we wanted to talk about new technology that's kind of coming that we see and we've heard about, as well as we also wanted to just review a little bit of the oldie but goodie technology as well. So with that, we're going to start with just the new technology, and each one of us have different technology picks. We'll see again, like if Whitney gets on here, what she'll talk about. But I kind of wanted to share, let me see if I can get this up here. When I was at our audiology conference, across the way, there was a booth that had, I'd rather pull up the thing here. Okay, so it's called Transcribe Glass. And so it basically is a glasses that you wear, and it allows you to have real-time captions in the glasses. And I thought that was really, really kind of cool. So I wanted to kind of pull this up here. And if I can get to the actual thing, there's actually a really cool, and it's not that expensive, but a really cool, here we go, right here. If I get back a little bit. So this kind of shows you a little bit, like it shows you kind of a demo. So we're going to kind of go back. I'm pretty sure.
I translate any language live. We can do that.
Hola, hoy vamos a practicar una conversación que es muy importante si estás buscando trabajo en un país hispanohablante.
I'm just going to close that because, first of all, captions are really important for people that have a hearing loss, right? This particular one is showing you that even if there is something in a different language, depending on how you want it in your glasses, you can have it in English. And so that's what it's showing here. But basically, what you're looking at are the glasses that you wear, and then that green caption that you see is what you're seeing on your lens of your glasses as you're wearing glasses. So I thought it was kind of a really cool thing. If you actually look at and Google some other options here, let me just stop this. I have another site that I wanted to pull up here, but like I just Googled captions, live captions in glasses, and there's other ones that are there as well. So I wanted to kind of just pull that up as well, just so that you can kind of see that you can literally just type in, I typed in live caption in glasses, and so it just kind of shows you There's a Xander glasses right here. Another one here, X-ray glasses, RAI. And then there's other ones. I think that what we looked at too is Captify, which we'll put out there as well. So there's lots of different ones that are coming up. But we thought that it was kind of interesting to just share that that's some new technology that might be useful for some of our patients. And so I thought it was kind of cool to see that at AAA, or our audiology conference. And then also, I mean, there's other ones out there. It doesn't necessarily have to be a AAA one, or I'm sorry, a transcribed class. There are other ones that are out there too. So with that, I'm going to pass it over to Dr. Galloway for her new technology that I thought was cool.
Okay, so what we're going to talk about next is a new piece of tech from Oticon. And they recently sent us an email about it. And I was like, I don't really even know what that is. So I had to pull it up. It's an adapter. It's an LE adapter. So I think Dr. Phillips has a picture here. So this is an Android phone that has one connected to it. And so this adapter is for devices that don't have LE audio. So all iPhones, iPads, MacBooks have LE audio. Things that are from coming from a PC, so like a PC-based tablet or your laptop, those are going to be something that don't have the LE audio. And so you could add this adapter and then use it. So think about your PC, you could plug it in and then stream the audio through your hearing aids. So it just kind of makes it a little bit more easy. It uses USB-C. And I can think of, a lot of applications for tablets, phones, where this would be helpful. I am also interested to see if it holds a stronger signal. I don't actually know what's inside of it, but I'm wondering if it makes the Bluetooth antenna stronger as well, just because you have that little extra piece. So I don't actually know about that, but I'll have to find out and report back. But yeah, that's the LE adapter, and it's from Oticon. I'm not sure. I'm thinking it's probably just for Oticon products. But it allows you to use LE audio on things that don't already have LE audio, so that you can use your hearing aids instead of headphones or whatever. And then it has the little charging port through it so that you can charge it while that's on there. So for some of our patients, it would probably be smart to just leave it on there, like leave it on their tablet. It's always there. They just charge it with that on there. And then we know that their hearing aids can stay connected to it. So that's a kind of new piece of technology that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that was kind of cool. All right. So those are new technology picks. We got Whitney here. So she made it on.
Just in time.
Yeah.
Hi.
It's kind of hard with technology. We're talking about technology and then we have problems with our technology.
Yeah, I'm on my phone today, you guys. But that's what you have to do sometimes with technology. You have to get creative, which is actually a pretty good segue into what I'm going to talk about. So I'm going to be talking about a tool called the Vorotech. And so I say that that's a good segue because we had a patient come in today, simple appointment. They just wanted to be shown how to put a dome on their hearing aid. So we looked at the hearing aid. Sure enough, the left one didn't have a dome on it. The right one did. We were talking. I demonstrated how to do it. She practiced it, and we were getting up to go. And I just had the thought occur to me. I was like, hey, did you ever find your dome? And she goes, no, I never did. And I was like, well, you better sit back down because it could still be in your ear. And sure enough, I looked through the otoscope and there was a dome in her ear. And so we needed to obviously take that out. So I'm reaching for one of the tools that we use in order to help remove it. So obviously if we're trying to get something out of that ear canal, it's a really small space, but it's also a really dark space. And so, especially when we're using a tool that might be, small and hard, and we're trying to really grab something out, we want to have a good view. And so that is a good introduction into the Vorotech, which is this handy dandy like headlamp. It has, I'll put it on. It's quite the fashion statement. but it just goes over your head and you can tighten it. And then there's a little battery pack. And then what we do is we flip these down, and it makes things magnified so I can see inside an ear canal better. It also has, I don't have it hooked up to its power source, but it also has a light. So it's super helpful when we're working in those really, dark and small environments. I've seen audiologists use this for getting a dome or some sort of foreign object out of the ear. Some like to use it when doing manual cerumen removal. So it's a really handy tool that just literally, then you're able to see, it's magnified, there's light, and you still have your hands to help pull the ear back, support. We're not as worried about like needing an assistant. So it's a really cool tool that we have to use. And I believe today was one of the first days that we got to like break it out on a patient. So I did warn her that I had it on my head before she saw me, because it probably is a little surprising to see that on someone's head. So, but yeah.
Yeah, so we put it in kind of the new technology picks because it's kind of new to us where we get to play around with it. We do now have the irrigator, which is over my left shoulder here too, that gets most of the wax out, but it's still nice to have something. We used to have, Dr. Galloway and I used to have a headlamp that I bought like at a store for hiking. And so
it's like a Duracell camping headlamp.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's what we used to use, and it did not have the magnifying glass or anything like that. And then again, when I went to AAA, tried it out, got to practice with it. A lot of our other colleagues have used it. So again, not necessarily new, but it was something that was new to us that we wanted to get and be able to have here in the clinic. So I'm glad that Whitney was able to use it and try it out. That was kind of cool. Mm-hmm. All right, so then we're going to switch to not our new technology picks, but kind of like oldie. Oh, it says but. Let me go edit that. But really goodies of technology. And so again, some of our picks are definitely, sometimes it can be new to people. Sometimes it can be not so new to people. But one of the things that I still love, and we do a lot, weekly for sure, we include it in our hearing aid checks for our patients, is using our Redux system. And so you've seen our videos on Redux. I think when we were first starting out, Dr. Galloway did a great Redux video.
I did an infomercial. That was really good.
Like an infomercial for sure. When we had Mary Kate, I think we had fun like trying out what can we put in a Redux. And we put all kinds of stuff in the Redux. So that was kind of fun. But to me, that's an oldie but a goodie where, we've had people in the last month, I know that we have been on doing our show, but we've had people in the last month come in because they went out to Maui and jumped into the ocean with their hearing aids on, or another person came in and accidentally jumped into the shower with his hearing aids. Or we also do it on a routine, even though some of our new hearing aids are the rechargeable ones where they're sealed shut. It's still kind of good to put it in our Redux system. So when people come in and actually have a clean and check, we can put it in our Redux system. It takes maybe 2 to 5 minutes, if anything, unless it's really, really bad, then it could take, I don't know, what's the longest one that we've ever had?
My AirPods were in there for 12 minutes. And okay. I don't even like wear them to do any really extreme sweating or anything. So I was like, wow, that was, and it's the little infomercial video we did. It's funny because we almost end the video because we're like, okay, we can't talk any longer. It's going to take so long. And then it finally is over. So it must have gotten a lot of moisture out of there.
Yeah. So it's always good to do. And so when people come in and have hearing aid checks, we clean up their hearing aids, replace little parts, and then we always stick it in the Redux just to kind of draw any moisture out that could have accumulated that can affect the battery life or any static sounds or anything like that. So that's one of my favorites is the Redux. And then I'm going to pass it over to Dr. Galloway.
Yes. So Whitney, can you hear weird audio? I'm hearing like, okay, I don't know
if it's me.
No, I don't. Normally Natalie has a microphone. So I heard that in the background. I was like, I don't know if that's just my computer or no, but that would make sense with our technology topic of the day. So the oldie but goodie I'm going to talk about is Real Ear. So sometimes you'll see it as REM, standing for Real Ear Measures. It is a piece of equipment that's really, really valuable because number one, it is very expensive, but number two, it allows us to put hearing aids in your ear and then measure the response from that hearing aid down close to your eardrum so that we can tell what that hearing aid is doing in your specific ear. My ear is a different size and shape than Whitney's ear versus a 2-year-old patient or, somebody else. So we really need to put the hearing aid in the ear and then see what it's doing to be able to verify that it's doing exactly what we think. We can program it, but this just kind of shows that, yes, what we think we're getting out of the hearing aid is what we're getting out of it, and we can prove it and then kind of check it over time. And so, we try to do that. We do that for all of our patients when they get hearing aids sometime over their fitting journey, whether it's right when they get fit or like a few weeks after they've been fit, so that we can verify it. Sometimes we redo it over time, like, oh, I've had these hearing aids a couple years and I just don't feel like they're as helpful as they were. So we can check and kind of see how they're performing. Not all offices have a real ear machine, and I understand why a lot of people put off getting one because of the cost, but it's really hard to do a good job with hearing aids without that machine, because it gives us so much information. So we have one of those machines, and they're different brand names, but usually Real Ear is what you'll hear it called. And that's always something you want to make sure wherever you're going for audiology that they are using a Real Ear machine and checking, the output and verifying the benefit of your hearing aids. So that's oldie but goodie. We've had it since we opened, but we will always have one. And the one we got when we opened was new from the previous version, so we were all excited about it. So hopefully they continue to keep updating that too.
Yeah, awesome. I muted us just so that we could get rid of that little weird sound. And I was going to say, I think it's just right over my shoulder here too. So if you can kind of see it's on, we've used it. It's kind of in that corner on that white desk. So just wanted to kind of turn that a little bit so that you people can see. But it does take up too much space, but it's so valuable. So we definitely like to use it on our patients, especially during their fitting process.
And the patient sits in front of it wearing the hearing aids, and then it reads passages to you. So if you've ever heard the carrot passage, it's probably memorable because it's the only one. And so it just repeats, some phrases so that we can see exactly what that's doing in the hearing aids with the different parts of speech. So pretty cool.
Yeah. All right. And then I'm going to hand it over to Whitney.
All right, so the topic I'm going to discuss is oral rehab. So oral rehab has been around for a very, very long time. Basically, it's activities. Sometimes it's groups. I know some clinics will have opportunities for patients who have hearing loss or have hearing aids to come and meet together and, talk about their hearing aids, work on different activities to help improve their hearing. And so one thing that is really cool now is that a lot of oral rehab can actually be done online or through an app. And so one thing we have recently started doing is we have partnered with Lace. Now, there was an older version of Lace that was just, to my knowledge, all computer-based. But now there is an app, and this is just a little brochure that we have in the clinic. So if you're interested in what I'm talking about, we have plenty of these. So you can come in and read through it. But Lace AI Pro is an app that you actually get through our clinic. So it's really cool. It's exclusive in that if you go into the App Store or the Google Play Store, you're actually not going to find it. You're going to think I'm crazy, but it's something that you have to purchase from an audiologist that's partnered with them. But it's an app-based program that you are able to practice different auditory skills. So whether that's listening to jokes or current events, it basically has a bunch of activities to really help your brain listen to auditory information and then test yourself on it. I know research has shown that it really only takes about 15 minutes a day and you'll start to see some progress. And the really neat thing about this is that when you get it through our clinic, we're able to like follow you and see how you're doing and talk to you about, you know, your progress and things like that. I know we've had a few patients actually already start this, and it was really cool. One time Dr. Galloway and I were just like familiarizing ourselves with what it looks like, and we actually got to see that there was a patient currently working on some modules, which was kind of funny. We felt like we were spying a little bit, but it's really neat. And it's just a great way, you know, whether it's you have hearing loss or you maybe have been diagnosed with auditory processing, it's a way to really improve your skills. And while it's maybe not group based, it's something that you can do if you have, you know, 5 to 15 minutes a day just to listen to different auditory stimuli. And it's really cool because it lets it customize to your interests. So you'll be learning off of things that you actually, you know, care about. So if you love sports, I do think that there's like a sports events, things that you can do. So very cool tool. Ask any of us at your next appointment, or if you want to learn more, you can schedule an appointment to learn more about LACE AI. But very cool tool.
Yeah. I love how, even though it's an oldie, because oral rehab has been around, or oral rehabilitation has been around for so long, I like it because it's new and it's like an app. And when we were onboarded with LACE AI Pro, the thing that I liked about it was they explained it to us like as if it were Duolingo. And so if you've had kids that were in school and they had to download this app to learn a certain language or for fun, and I'm actually doing Duolingo, which is kind of funny, to learn Spanish a little bit better before I go to Spain, then it's similar. So it kind of reminds you, and it's kind of a fun, it's like a playful type of app. When I was also at AAA, we're going to be onboarded with another type of app for tinnitus. So we'll talk about that a little bit later once we get everything going here for that one. But there are other apps. So it's kind of fun to see that there are apps that are out there that can be used. Even with something that, you know, we wanted to focus on long time ago, it's just something new and fun and innovative. So I definitely love that.
Yeah, I feel like it makes it a lot easier to use because it's on your phone. And like you were talking about Duolingo, or, you know, they gamify it. And so you want to like have a streak, and the data is showing like 15 minutes a day, you can see measurable improvements in your speech scores, your speech perception and noise scores. So that's really awesome. And the other thing that I was going to add is you get a lifetime license. So you buy the license and then you can have it forever. So let's say you use it every single day for 3 months, and then you fall off the wagon and you forget about it and you're like, oh shoot, I need to get back to that. It's always there. So, you know, if you feel like you've really improved a lot and you kind of back off of it, like in 5 years, you can go back and do it, and they're going to keep updating it with new content. And so that's really cool. I think that's reassuring for people because, you know, your better hearing journey is a journey, and it's sometimes people stop and start, and, you know, just being able to have that like little extra piece of therapy when you feel like you need it, I think could help a lot of people.
Yeah. Well, that's our show for today. We have, we actually had our first board meeting for our nonprofit that we have created. So if you haven't followed us yet, follow us at ACNC Cares, both on Instagram and Facebook. So we had our first board meeting. We were given another idea for our next topic. So that will probably be our next topic for next week's show. But we've got another great topic that we want to tackle. Again, if you guys have any ideas, just send us a message on any social media platform or even our email as well. But yeah, so stay tuned into what we're doing, because we're doing some exciting things that we're going to bring to our community. So we just thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you guys next week.
Thank you.